stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need pre-wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
Start with an ad for the Disney VHS of the Month Club. People, imagine getting one VHS tape in the mail every month. Oh, go ahead and chuckle. In the age of streaming, it's a hilarious concept, but I'm not making fun of it. Really think about how spoiled we are. And with the algorithms, how very little chance of ever discovering something you might enjoy that you didn't think you would exists anymore. One movie a month, you're watching that no matter what it is. That's the feeling that's gone forever. And it's not a good thing. Anticipation, the unknown. Our kids will never have that at the level we did. And it's not just sad if you think about it too long. It's crushing. Hey, today we got an extremely goofy movie. We start with Goofy hitting a gong and it falls on his foot. Okay, Max is going away to college. Max and his two buddies are determined to win the freshman X Games when they get there. There is no time wasted. These kids are so 90s cool, it hurts. Goofy's sad Max is going to college. Pete is not sad. His son's going to college. He's going to be a free man. Goofy's not worried about Max participating in the X Games and getting hurt. Goofy has a lecture about how life is like a game of horseshoes. It's about staying focused in your goals. And I know this is going to come full circle at the end of the movie, this speech. But this speech, I got to be honest, I don't think is as clever as the writers thought it was. Goofy's still sad. Max is leaving. They are dragging this on. He's sad Max ain't taking his teddy bear with him to college. He gives Max a gift. Max is excited till he opens it, and it's like Goofy's old-timey typewriter that Goofy's dad gave to him before he went to college. They say goodnight for the last time in Max's childhood room, and Max snuggles his teddy when he thinks Goofy isn't looking. I know the whole kids growing up while dad doesn't want them to is the theme of the first movie, and I kind of assumed they would introduce a new plot or something, but nope. Stick with what works, I guess. Max leaves and Goofy stands in Max's empty room the next day and holds the teddy bear. Finally, we're back to the three kids driving to college. There's some Disney cover of that "Future So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades" song. I see the ultra cool guy that apparently wins the X Games with his ultra cool team every year. His last name is Upper Crust, and that's really funny. Goofy's sad, so he starts daydreaming at work, and then he screws up and gets fired. Max and his pals break out the skateboards and rollerblades when they get to college, and they ride to a coffee shop with Upper Crust and his cool team on their tails. We meet the hot girl doing spoken word poetry at this coffee shop. I mean, this is college right here in front of us. This movie, this is exactly what college is. Max's one friend is supposed to be Pauly Shore, and it's painful. Bradley Upper Crust is the cool guy, and he wants Max to be part of his elite X Gamma team. But he says only Max is invited. Max says, PJ and Bobby and I are in it together. We're the team. So he's not going to join. Max is just so confident and cool already. He's not swayed to join the cool kids at all. Suddenly the spoken word girl says, man, this is a real L7 scene. What? She says she's dizzy from watching Bradley's downward spiral. That was a good line. She partners up with Max and his buddies. Max gets in Bradley's face and says, after the X Games, you'll be my towel boy. So they make a little wager. Goofy is waiting in the unemployment department. Whee, this is a fun movie. He needs to go back to college to get his degree, so there it is. Okay, suddenly Goofy strolls into one of Max's lectures dressed in a blue 70s leisure suit, and he announces that he's Max's dad, and everyone laughs at Max. Max immediately tries to set ground rules that Goofy immediately ignores, and we're into the montage of Goofy ruining everything at college for Max and embarrassing him every like 10 seconds. Goofy, out of nowhere, closes the deal with a librarian who's also obsessed with 70s as well. Goofy is going to run better numbers in college than Max. It comes to a head when Goofy goops up Max's X Game thing, but his 70s bell bottoms like allow Goofy to float and soar, and everyone cheers him on. And then He wants to join Max's X team, and Max gives him the cold shoulder, so Bradley swoops in and asks Goofy to be part of their team to get back at Max. But what I assume is going to happen doesn't happen, because Max overhears this and convinces Goofy to join the Gammas as like a double agent. It's like a double swerve, bro. At a college dance, Goofy bribes the DJ to play an old 70s song, and Goofy and the librarian strut their stuff, and all the horny college boys drool over their hot librarian in a skin-tight green 70s suit. That's fine. Goofy's hanging with the frat boys, and there's something funny about seeing Goofy in a frat house, but it's like a Disney frat house, so there's no like paddling or humiliation. It's X Games Day, and it's going to be father versus son. No, it's just the qualifying rounds. Okay, but it's already father versus son. Bradley and his crew, of course, are cheating. They're putting like the sun mirror in everyone's eyes. After the qualifiers, Max tells off his dad, and Goofy goes into this weird acid trip to the Partridge Family theme song. Goofy's so distraught that he fails his next test, and he stands up hot librarian by accident. It's all gone to folks. Now Max is sad, and he's going to drop out as well after losing the X Games to his dad. And yeah, that's honestly a pretty good reason to quit right there. The spoken word girl talks him to staying into college. Now Goofy's back cramming, and we get the cramming for a test montage with Goofy. Goofy gets straight A's in the end. And speaking of A's and N's, the librarian wants to celebrate with Goofy, but he has a few more things to take care of. He tries to quit Bradley's X team. Goofy says he quits, and if you guys were such winners before I joined, you'll be winners after I'm gone, but they kick him out first. And then Goofy overhears how they plan on cheating again in the final, so he has to warn Max. He tries to warn Max, and Max tells Max the Gammas have been cheating, and Max goes, "Did Bradley tell you to say that?" Why would Bradley tell him to say that? It doesn't matter. We're down to the semifinals. There's 8 teams. Then it's going to go down to the final best 2 teams. Wouldn't it be funny if neither of these teams make it to the 2 finals, right? And it's just 2 other random teams. No, Max catches them cheating and realizes Dad was telling the truth. They take out the fat one in Max's gang, like Pete's kid, and now the short one person. So Max goes on the blimp Jumbotron and is like, Dad, I need you. Get down here. I need you to join my team. Goofy pulls out his lucky horseshoe. Bradley and his team continue to cheat in the finals. The forced focus on rollerblading and skateboarding and how cool it is just seems so 90s and dated, and yet amazing and comforting. This plays out like you would expect. Loosened bike nuts and goofy animation, goofying. It's coming down to Bradley and his goon and Max and his dad. Bradley's about to like detonate something, and Goofy throws his horseshoe at Bradley, and the giant X at the finish line falls on Max and Bradley's henchman. Max is free and can win the race, but everything's on fire, and he chooses instead to save the henchman who's trapped under the giant X. And they try to make this feel like this is a big moment of decision for Max, but Max would be a pretty big piece of if he chose to win the race and let this guy die, right? Bradley tries to win, but Max beats him right at the buzzer at the finish line, wins it all. All the henchmen turn on Bradley, and the fat guy punts Bradley up into the blimp. Max gifts Goofy the trophy with an inscription, "I might not be your little guy anymore, but I'll always be your son." Now he wants to hang out with his dad, but Goofy blows him off because he has a date with Hot Librarian. He's like, "I'll see you later, Max," because all that sentimental family goes out the window with the promise of
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.
I'm still Jenny from the block.